All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the In Conversation podcast session. This is a session with the awesome and amazing Miss Kianna Jakes, who has her own podcast called Talk is Cheap with Kianna J. And so, Kianna, how you doing today?
I am doing fantastic as usual.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up, man. So I had an opportunity to take a look at some of your most recent episodes, and I previously had already knew that you were doing the girl chat series, which you do every now and then. So on July 9th, y'all gals, ladies, queens got together, and the subject was why does the other woman get mad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before
why do we get mad at the other woman? Yes.
Okay, why do women get mad at the other one? Okay, yeah. Now before we really kind of like dive into that, I had no idea that DJ True Star was so hilarious. Yeah, like I ain't know.
That is crazy because that's what people don't see about her. They think she's mean.
Yeah.
But True Star is freaking hilarious. She is I love my friends. All my friends are funny. Every last one of them. Especially my best friends. But she is funny when she is comfortable. Like she is hilarious. Yeah.
Because y'all was talking about the Keke Palmer situation and the Usher thing and Keke Palmer baby daddy or whatever. And you know what? You ladies were able to like dissect things and realize things from that situation with Usher and Keke Palmer that I would have never even thought about. You know what I'm saying? Like what the baby daddy real intentions were, you know what I'm saying? And just all that kind of stuff. So it's like, that's crazy. But the main subject for that particular episode is why do y'all women get mad, you know what I'm saying, at the other woman? And what was some of your take on that, or in those type of scenarios? Like overall, what do you think about situations like that?
So I did the show because that's the issue we have. And it was a recent issue that came up with like my son and stuff like that. That really kind of threw me because I know a girl that she's been in a relationship for years and years and years and years, and she started to take the man back, but always wanted to fight the other woman that he messed with, and it was a different woman. So I was just always thinking, like, why do you instead of holding the man accountable, because that's who actually holds your loyalty and your respect, the other woman don't owe you anything. You know what I'm saying? She don't owe you nothing. Sure, at the end of the day. So it was just like, why do we get mad at the other one? My take is we be in our feelings because we feel like if the other woman knew about us, she shouldn't have, even mess with our man like that. Or, sometimes it be like disrespect from the other woman where they start feeling like they can talk to you any kind of way and doing things of that nature, and stuff like that. So, that's basically why most women do get mad at the other woman, because either you knew about me and your standards were still low enough to mess with my man, or you just being disrespectful, you overstepping your bounds. So,
I don't know. First of all, I've never cheated, or maybe I don't think I've ever cheated.
Okay. Let's go here. Okay. What's your definition of cheating though?
Cheating is you're in a relationship, y'all have an agreement, you know what I'm saying? Like whether things are good or bad, but y'all know y'all together. That's where y'all at. And
okay.
You know what I'm saying? And one of you step out to mess with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't a part of the agreement. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't a part of the arrangement.
So that's your definition of cheating?
That's my definition of cheating.
Is that all?
Now, I would say why I feel like some things I've done are not considered cheating.
Okay. So with that being said, the reason why I ask is that all because you can cheat emotionally. Anything you can't do with the opposite sex in front of your partner is cheating.
And I felt that way because I've heard that. You know what I'm saying? I've heard people say that, and maybe in a typical situation, but for me, I don't think that that any human being can emotionally cheat.
Really?
I don't think that is, and the reason
People
why
fall in love that way.
I understand that, I get that, but I think that you can, it's nobody else can determine or dictate, you know what I'm saying, like what you need emotionally. And if a person isn't giving you what you need emotionally, and you being intelligent and mature have communicated what you need emotionally, and the person just won't give it to you, then they have opted out of having to have that responsibility. And if you find another place to fill that void, it's like they shouldn't get mad. Or if they get mad, let's just have a meeting. Since you ain't helping me emotionally, she is. I think that you ought to be all right with sharing that
This is why you're not
responsibility.
on my show. this is why you won't sit on my show, because
that's a good opinion though. Like that's a good opinion.
this is my interview.
Oh.
This ain't talking cheap.
My bad. She ready.
I'm all of y'all stuff.
But thank you.
I understand what he's saying. I understand that part. But again, if you feel like you have to go outside to talk to somebody of the opposite sex about your emotions and things of that nature, then it's cheating to some of us, because simple fact is your partner is supposed to be your best friend, so you should be able to talk to her. Now, I can see if you had a best friend, a female best friend that you don't have any emotional ties to, then yes. Yeah. But if you getting emotionally tied to somebody where every time you and your partner get into a situation and you have to go over there and vent, and she making you feel better. Y'all ain't sexually doing anything, but she's making you feel better on the inside, and you thinking like, damn, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a difference.
Yeah, I get it. It's just for me now. I'm about 38 now, but when I was a little bit younger, of course, you live, you learn, you make mistakes, you do stuff the wrong way, and sometimes you don't always consider how your actions may affect somebody else. So I had to kind of learn, and I felt like the best thing you could do in any situation is communication. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm technically single now, but like me and my daughter's mom, like we're in a space where we just communicate everything. Like how we're feeling. If I felt like I have an attachment to a certain woman that I feel is necessary, what I'm saying, in my life and my journey, my daughter's mom might not necessarily like that, you know what I'm saying? Right. But we've developed that type of relationship where we at least communicate and talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's crazy, because the communication do come in after the fact of the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like when you in a relationship, it's kind of hard to communicate with men, or even in a dating stage, it's kind of hard to communicate with me. And me and my friend was just talking about how dating is horrible for us, because the men nowadays feel like you need to chase them, and you can't be yourself. You can't really, call without them thinking that you're smothering them, or you waiting on them to call you and they feeling some type of way because you ain't calling as much, and it's just too much. And if it's not organic, we don't really want it. It's just we want to fall. And I have more comfortable relationships with male friends where it's organic to just sit and talk and chill, and you know what I'm saying, than these men you trying to date. I just don't get it.
Yeah, it can definitely be complicated, and I think there's so many things that are just changing in life and how people think, and just so many standards, or the things that were the standard 10 years ago are no longer the standard. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what to expect. But I kind of want to shift gears here a little bit. I know what it's like to be mad at the other man.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Tell me.
So I'm gonna give you a story. So like, this was a woman who, we were together for a few years, and then we broke up, and then we were just like in this space where we still loved each other, we still dealt with each other, but we weren't officially together. She was seeing other people, I was seeing other people. You know what I mean? And so, but we still dealt with each other, and those feelings were there. And she kind of, we kind of operated on the same scene. You know, I do events and stuff like that. So she's on the same scene as me, and she ended up talking to a guy that's also, he was actually used to come to some of my events that I hosted and organized. Now, me and this guy never talked before. Like, I would see him at the show, like, "Hey, how you doing? Hi, bye." But we never had like a relationship or conversation, dialogue like that. But it was just like once he started talking to my ex, that's when he wanted to actually start speaking, and I had a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my first problem. And then it was like things that she told me about him crying over her, him being all in love with her, him being mad, and it reminded
emotional.
It reminded me of me, and I felt like, nigga, you don't got the right to be me in this situation. Like, you ain't known her long enough to be all heartbroken and to try the same narcissistic, manipulative, emotional lies. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I was getting upset about that kind of stuff. But then ultimately, like I say, he would try to speak and shake my hand. I'd be like, bro, like, we not doing this, fam. Like, you claiming to be in love with somebody that I'm in love with. I understand what y'all got going on. I ain't got no say so over that. I'm doing my own stuff. But don't talk to me. We not cool. We not starting a club. You know what I'm saying? For my ex-girlfriend or whatever we was at the time. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? I know obviously it was some jealousy, but I think it was just more like there was a level of respect. You noticed my ex, first of all, and you made a move. But you know, I can't really say too much because it wasn't like me and you was cool.
Cool,
you know what I'm saying? You just knew who I was. I think the disrespect, him crossing the line, was trying to be my friend after the fact.
Yeah, I think with men is different because men are more logical thinkers and women are more emotional thinkers. So with the other woman, once they start to get comfortable, like with the men, a lot of the men pillow talk or say they gonna leave a girl and this and that and this and that, and the other woman emotionally getting involved because she thinking that soon he gonna be hers. That's when she start overstepping her bounds, you know.
Yeah.
And that be the issue for us, you know what I'm saying? My thing is with it, you make the man accountable. If you're gonna be mad at her, you need to be more mad at him because again, she don't owe you anything.
Yeah.
Like that man, he don't owe you anything. He should dap you up and shake your hand. Yeah. Doop, 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 doop. But at the same time, I don't owe you shit.
Yeah. Could it be like a sense of like or a lack of empowerment, like the woman is dealing with a man who she feels like I can't tell him nothing anyway. He gonna do what he gonna want to do anyway. So like a feeling of I don't have any power or control in that situation, but I'm lashing out to have power or control, and that's why she reflects or deflects that or projects that onto the other woman, like type of thing. Could it have to just do with the fact that she feels powerless when it comes to the man, and maybe that's why she's not holding him accountable.
Right. And that be the problem too, where it's just now you unhappy in an unhappy situation because once a person cheat on you, there's no coming back from that unless y'all, especially if you got lack of communication, because that's basically where it all come from. Y'all not communicating in the household, so everybody's unhappy. So we go get it somewhere else, you know, which nobody should cheat because the other person made you cheat. No, you cheat because you wanted to cheat. It's the point of we're not making our partners take accountability for cheating. And instead of you getting mad at the other person who technically don't owe you nothing, that person that's in your household needs to take accountability, and you need to make them take accountability. If that's walking away or communicating or trying to work it out, a person like me, I have a lot of male friends, and they always told me, like, once a person cheat on you and you let them get away with it, they're going to always do it. So I take that into accountability as now. So I'm the type of person now, like, you cheat on me, it's no coming back from that, because if I let you do it once, you're going to do it to me again. It's like I always say with men, I'm sorry to say this because you're a man, but I always say with men, they like children. You give them an inch, they take a mile.
I say the same thing about these niggas.
Like they try to see what they can get away with. Like that comes with domestic violence and everything. I push you. If you let me get away with that, Next thing you know, I'm gonna slap the shit out. You know what I'm saying? You let me get away with that. Next thing you know, I'm gonna punch you. You know what I'm saying? So it's what you let them get away with, and if they look at the little stuff that you let them get away with, and then it become a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and that's what cheating also. Like you will let them all talking to her emotionally, and you take them back. Okay, now they going out. You take them back, then they having sex, then you take them back. Of course, it's gonna keep going. Oh, she let me get away with cheating again. It took me back. So
yeah, I think that we a lot of times we have men and women, whatever we like to use the phrase, "Oh, I made a mistake," or "This was a mistake," and
I don't believe in them type of mistakes.
A mistake to me is like, I'm dealing with a woman. She's vegan, vegetarian, she's pescatarian, and I go to McDonald's and I say I want a sausage, egg, and cheese, no sausage. You know what I'm saying? and my mistake is if I bring that sandwich to her and there's sausage on there, the mistake is I didn't check that food. You know what I'm saying? But before I pull it off, a mistake is when you have one intention but you end up with a different result than what you intended. You having sex with somebody, that would most likely was the intention. It's not a mistake. You accomplished exactly what you wanted to accomplish.
I don't believe you mistakenly fell on top of somebody. I just don't.
Yeah.
I mistakenly fell and I landed.
If somebody is using that excuse or even accepting that excuse, everybody in the house need help. Everybody need to talk to a psychologist or something.
Yes.
But you had another show most recently where you were actually talking about weight loss, and you were getting kind of vulnerable and very personal and talking about a lot of stuff going on with you. So just real quickly, like what did you want the viewers to get out of that vulnerability and out of that particular subject?
My show, again, like I said, my show is about me most of the time. I don't talk about things I haven't been through. And I decided to talk about the weight loss surgery that I had in 2011 because I wanted people to understand that surgery is not all what it's cracked up to be just for vain and beauty. You know?
Right.
And I wanted them to know the things that I'm going through now, years later after the fact. That if I was to do it, if I had the choice, I wouldn't do it again. You know, it's sometimes some surgeries are not safe. Some surgeries are just not for your body in the long run. You know, so we think about it at the moment, but do we think about the long run of it, the consequences later? You know, everything that has to do with somebody getting surgery in a vanity point it ends up in the long run not good for you.
Absolutely.
So that's what I wanted people to get out of that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are sitting here with Kianna Jakes, who has her own podcast show called Talk is Cheap with Kianna J. Has some very real and raw conversations. Sometimes you're gonna laugh the whole episode, but a lot of times we're dealing with real stuff, just raw stuff that somebody else might be going through. You might be able to learn from it, or it might just be some conversation starters for you to have when you're at home and talk to your girls or your guys, this, that, and the other. Or you might want to chime in on Kianna's show. She might say something that you disagree with. She is not afraid of your comments. So any particular topics that you got scheduled coming up that we want to make sure
so with my show, it's just be up in the air for me because it's summertime, so people be outside trying to be great. So I be having a lot of cancellations and stuff like that when it comes to booking my shows around this time. So right now, the girl you hear in the background, which was one of my best friends, Melanie, one of my funny friends, she will be doing one with me tomorrow about the downfalls of a marriage. Everybody, a lot of people I talk to when it comes to marriage, it's like it's perfect, it's great. You know, we have our issues, but we work them out. But nobody's talk about like the separation and divorce and the things you go through or you try to fix, what you're going through and stuff like that. So, we're going to sit and talk about that because she's going through some things right now. So I'm going to sit down with her and talk about that. Again, at the end of August, I don't know what's coming up the weeks after that. I might do my 2-year diary after that. I did a 1-year diary last year. I was going through a lot in that year.
Mm-hmm.
So my producer was basically saying, do a diary because you've been through a lot.
Yeah.
I am going to do a live show, which is a girl chat with the men that I was supposed to do last week,
Mm-hmm.
with the men and the women, so people can come in and actually sit in the audience,
The battle of the sexes.
participate in this live show, the battle of the sexes.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that. I was looking for
I
that.
know the men canceled. The men canceled. Yeah,
Stood
so.
y'all up. they was scared.
They had canceled, so I told them I'm gonna set them up for my finale. Live. My finale is gonna be the actual live show where people can actually come in and sit and ask questions and do their little thing there. So we setting up a date for that because I will be in town in Milwaukee for like 2 weeks. So.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, we'll definitely be looking forward to any of those shows. Man, I've had such a great time talking to you today, Miss Kianna, and also to Melanie, who's in the background. I'm gonna make sure that I tune in tomorrow. That's at 5:00.
Yeah, at 5:00. Yeah.
Okay, 5:00. I'm gonna be watching Talk is Cheap with Kianna Jakes.
Yes. Thank
Right.
you for having me again.
Absolutely. Thank you. Hit me up anytime.
All right. Bye.
Bye.